Hi, I'm Jodie from Fringe Yoga. Yoga is a way of life, a practice that can be on a physical level, on a spiritual level, on an emotional level, on a mental level. There are so many different aspects of yoga, and a lot of the time I would say the thing I get asked the most, or the phrase I hear the most is, I'd love to do yoga but I'm not flexible enough. My answer to that is, if you had to be flexible to do yoga, then every gymnast would be a yogi. But really what we have to think about is that you're coming to yoga to find space rather than flexibility, to release tension rather than do a handstand. The actual poses aren't the main thing. The main thing is your attitude to the practice or your approach to the practice. People often say, I've never tried yoga before, I can't even touch my toes, and I think they think it's so much about the flexibility, but actually yoga is really more about finding strength and alignment and how we can use these practices to come more back to ourselves, to come back to a center that feels nourishing and nurturing to yourself. The thing I would say to people that are thinking about trying yoga is do it, try it. Once you get in, once you start to realize that it's not this big scary space where everybody's super flexible and get their leg behind their head, I still can't after 20 years of practice, then you realize that actually there's so much, yoga is more about unraveling the tension in your body so that you can show up more centered and more grounded in your life for yourself and for the important people in your life, rather than about touching your toes. Here at Fringe, we have got a really lovely community of support throughout the teachers that we call our tribe, and also all of the students that come. There's a lot of different stories. People come to yoga for many different reasons. Some for rehabilitation after injury or surgery or illness. Some are coming because they just need a little bit of peace. There's so much stress in our world these days and in our lives. Some are coming because they just want to get a little bit more strong, aligned, flexible, whatever. So there's something for everybody. If you're coming with injury, depending on what the injury is, I often say to people the first thing to do if you're looking to rehabilitate that injury is to do some one-to-ones with one of us that are particularly trained in more of the orthopedic modules. So we have an understanding of what we're working with and how best to rehabilitate it. But once you know what you're working with, then you can by all means come into the other classes and you'll find a lot of benefits from that. In honesty, what brought me to yoga first of all was Madonna and Jerry Halliwell. I was 16, 17 looking at them thinking, wow, that looks good. But I also, when I went on to stage school, had to do yoga and Pilates as part of my studies. And for me, I was hooked from the off. It was the first time that I really felt that I was moving in a way just for me. This wasn't for a performance, this wasn't for a rehearsal, this was just about coming back to a space of clarity and stillness and peace within myself. And it wasn't long, that was when I was 16, 17, and I did my teacher training quite early when I was 23. So I was just hooked straight away. I never really thought I'd go into teaching full time, but it was just something that felt like a good progress for my own practice. For me, yoga with regards to learning now is about learning how to better manage myself. So it's not any longer ever about a handstand or a back bend or whatever. Those things I now appreciate just come when I give it time. Actually what it's about now is just finding a way to find the best balance in my life, to be the best person I can be for myself, for the people that I love, my daughter particularly. That's the most important thing. Yoga has taken me all over the world already, for training, for retreats, for practice. One day I hope that it would take me to somewhere hot forever to run a retreat centre. But I really hope that Fringe and the method becomes more recognised, because the one main feedback we get from a lot of people is, we've never done yoga like this, and if I'd known yoga was like this, I would have come sooner. I've made so many amazing friends doing yoga, from festivals to teacher trainings. The process of a teacher training, both as the teacher and as the student, is a journey. It is a deep journey. You do end up making lots of connections. And as I said, with the community that we have going on here, you do start to learn a lot about people's lives. And one of the things that shows up again and again and again is that, you know what, we all have the same stuff. We all have the same issues, situations, thought patterns, and people just have different ways of showing it. And yoga is a space when you're on that mat that you can really connect with yourself and not have to worry about what else is going on. Are yogis hippies? I don't think so. Sometimes I like to embrace my hippie side, but we also are everything. I'm a mum. I like going out. I like drinking. We're not all vegans. We're not all vegetarians. We're just using this practice to come together, to be the best people that we can be, and to release some of the tension that we all experience in this life. So it's not just about being a hippie. Nothing against hippies. Yoga is for everybody. So we have classes here for kids, for pregnant people, for older people. We have a lot of men that come to the studio. We have a lot of people from all different walks of life. So yoga really is for everyone, any age, any ability. It's for all.